Today is January 9th, 2020. My name is Jeremy Borkowski, and this presentation is the Learning Enhancement, Advancement, and Direction, the LEAD framework. This is a part of identifying and understanding goals across the three areas of leadership. And this presentation is going to examine the personal, professional, and academic school goals of myself, Jeremy Borkowski. I am using OBX as a screencaster, and I am using Google Slides as a presentation tool. So how I organized this, I wanted to look at it from the idea of the fact there's a lot of overlapping when it comes to personal, professional, and academic areas. In examining and looking at these goals that I did present in my application, my goal statement, I wanted to make sure that a lot of these things, again, coming from point A to point B, where they were and where the overlap was. So when I look at my personal strengths, I wanted to say, I feel I'm very approachable, very optimistic, dedicated, focused, and flexible, which, again, that helps me to be more successful in the professional and academic realm as well. Professionally, I feel that I'm experienced, 14 years as a teacher, both at the elementary and the high school level. I'm very enthusiastic in my work. I'm approachable, dependable, and dedicated. Academically speaking, I consider myself very organized, open-minded. I put technological in the fact that I feel like that's the way that I learn the best, and it's also the way I teach the best. I'm committed and self-driven, meaning that even when I didn't formally take a class, the last time I took a class was in 2010. So formally taking a class, I still learned a lot. I did a lot of the online programs to teach myself different things that would make me a better teacher. This was really actually very interesting to look at the developmental areas, things that I think I need to work on from the perspective of things that I might have been strong at before. Personally, I believe with starting this program, time management is going to be one of those. I also believe there's a need for a balance of work and personal time, personal care, priorities, and then finally I put risk and reward, meaning are the risks that I'm taking worth the reward I'm going to have at the end. Professionally speaking, I think the one thing that we all have to work on, both in my education, job as a teacher, or in my career as a business owner, is communication. It's one of the things that always seems to be the biggest breakdown. I also feel that I have work to do in instruction and questioning, strategies for my classrooms, consistency, and then collaboration as well. Academically, I feel my biggest thing that I need to work on is APA, and I've also been watching the videos and reading a little bit about the scholarly tone. I'm making sure that I'm presenting in a proper way at the level of education that I am. And number 3, 4, and 5, reading, research, and analysis and writing. I just feel that it's something that I need to work on. Again, I haven't been in a formal classroom setting for about 10 years. Personal accomplishments, and I am a business owner. I am a college graduate. I have a great career as a teacher, own my home, and I'm financially stable. Professional accomplishments, I have 2 careers. Number 2, as an economics teacher of the year in 2012, which I was able to go around with former students, speak about the importance of economics inside the classroom, actually getting to present in front of Hall of Fame Steelers about how I teach economics through the use of Steelers tickets. I was the graduation speaker in 2019, which was voted on by the students of the class of 2019. I thought that was a great personal or professional accomplishment. Also, I'm very involved in our community, and I think the biggest thing about that is making sure that I get the kids to go out there and see the importance of giving back to the community that gives us so much. And I was an academic state championship coach for 2 years, winning the state championship multiple times. Academically, I have a college degree, I have a master's degree, had multiple scholarships. I was recognized on campus as a leader in different positions of leadership, which I think were very important to gaining confidence to become a better student. And during all these activities that I was in, I was able to maintain full-time employment, which makes me believe that I will be able to kind of adapt back to this, having the careers and also going to school part-time. When I look at the ways I make decisions, again, there's a lot of different ways in the personal, professional, and academic, how those things kind of carry over to one another. Personally, I want to work on this, but I want to look at what's best for me, what's best for my family. I also look at personal advice, again, to go back to that whole idea of risk versus reward. And then also, what are the impact on others, the decisions that I make, how does it impact other people that I care about? Professionally, I look at what's best for my students, number one. Number two is what's best for me. I also look at best practices, self-reflection, and again, the idea of risk and reward. Academically, I look at it from the perspective of time commitment. Can I handle what I'm going to get or what I'm going to do, and how do I put that into a management schedule? Flexibility, cost, opportunities afforded, but I also think passion. I started a program thinking that I wanted to be a principal 3 years after I received my master's degree, and I just realized that that was not where my heart was. So it kind of led me down a different road, and it wasn't until much later, whenever I started to get student teachers, that I kind of felt that this was going to be the direction that would really lead me to more passion and into my job and my future. How I learn best personally is through observation, experiences, visually, hands-on, and of course failures. I think failures are the main thing. What you do and you fail on yourself, it teaches you how to get up and do things differently. Professionally, I learn through courses, through practice, self-exploration. I think that was one of the things, again, Google, when Google, the platform for Google Drive originally came out, I was teaching full-time at the high school level, but I still had my students in the elementary school and gifted. So I self-taught Google as a program where I could collaborate with students even though I didn't get to see them. And that was really progressive in its early times. I also learned visually and hands-on. Academically, I learned through practice, again through technology. That's my favorite thing, so it's really excited about having this online program. I know that was one of the coolest things about looking at Canvas and how the class was set up as opposed to how I set my online classroom up in my school. Repetition, studying, and again, failure. Hopefully there's not a lot of that, though. The resources that I should or I can use personally is family, friends, experiences, time management, and I put experiences again, so I'll have to fix that up. Professionally, I have peers, colleagues, principals, superintendents, and students. I have a great working relationship with my principals and my superintendent. Also, I get along with my students really well, and it's one of those things that I always try to go through and ask for some feedback about what I did well during the year, what I worked on, and what kind of educational advancement, how much value did they get out of my courses. Academically, I have my professors, my colleagues, library, my principals, and of course the assignments. I find it really interesting, even looking at Module 1, just kind of going through it and saying, hey, wait, I go back and try to look at it again and say, where am I at and how does this make sense or fit into my idea? How can I accept constructive feedback personally? I like to listen, and I think listen is important because sometimes you hear but without listening. I like to clarify, ask questions, understand, and I put here adjust as needed. Same idea for professionals. It's kind of my idea is listen, clarify, ask questions, understand, and adjust as needed, because all these things, they do overlap in that whole idea of personal, professional, and academic ways. How can I offer constructive feedback personally? Listen and hear. I think it's really important, again, not just to listen, but to hear. Show and model. What kind of ideas, personally, how do you do those things? I can't expect somebody else to do something if I'm not going to do it for myself. Kindness, help, and appreciation. Professionally, again, very similar. Listen and hear, show and model, show appreciation, discuss the impact, and private conversations, one-on-one conversations to say, hey, maybe we got to look at things a different direction. Academically, ask questions, offer suggestions, provide examples, provide resources, and provide direction. So in reflecting on this, through the examination of my personal, professional, and academic leadership skills, I found questioning in detail the what and the why. I went back and I watched the Introduction to Advanced Studies video again to see how these three areas did overlap, staying positive and focused so the criteria in which I could reach my goal of obtaining this degree at a part-time level while maintaining all my other responsibilities in that aspect. So overall, looking at this learning enhancement and advancement in direction, the LEAD framework, it showed me that reflection and kind of goal setting in the small sense it is much more important than saying the hows and the whys. Some of the references that I use are posted here, and this will be in my physical copy that I will be sending in. Thank you for your time.